In 3, 2... Oh, wait, we're already live.
What?
We're already live.
Oh.
Way to go. Put it away, Justin. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of This Week in Tech, where things are going to get heated.
Yeah.
I think we'll
wait on that. We'll give it a little bit.
Yes, and then, just a little bit. I'll at least get through the intro before we hate our lives. So, yes, thank you all for stopping by. Looks like we already have a crew forming here. We got Alan Buckley, Bill Wilson, Justin over here throwing his 2 cents in, and Alta Marie, a.k.a. Justin's wife, Kelly. Thank you all for stopping by. Do appreciate it. We got some good tech news. We're not going to have too many articles because, well, I think we'll just bring this out now. We're going to try and spice things up here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't...
Hold on. We need to... I think it's focusing on these, not us. There. No. Yeah, so we have the Pocky One Chip Challenge. It's a Carolina Reaper Sichuan heat. It has one extremely hot tortilla chip. Oh gosh, yeah, this has what to expect. We'll go into that here in a minute. So the inside this wrapper is one tortilla chip that, from what I understand, is 1 million Scoville. Did you know that? It's 1 million Scoville. Oh, we get a free bag of hot chips.
Apparently.
Not the hottest hot, but
pepper.
Yeah, so we're going to eat these here in just a little bit. Oh, Kelly says you're welcome. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you very much. Mm-hmm. Lydia says this is not going to go well. Well, we'll see. I do have milk and some donuts and a candy bar, things that hopefully might help with heat. I don't know.
I've got dairy-free milk, so we'll see.
What does the warning on the back say? Okay, so here, I'm going to do... Do you want to do the box read or you want me to?
No, you go ahead.
All right, so there's a couple things I do want to read in here. For starters, here, you already have yours set up differently. There's a warning on the back. It says, do not eat if you're sensitive to spicy food, allergic to peppers, nightshades, or capsaicin, or are pregnant if you have any medical conditions. Keep out of reach of children after touching the chip. Wash your hands with soap and do not touch your eyes or other sensitive areas.
Oh, I should have brought
Seek medical assistance should you experience difficulty breathing, fainting, or extended nausea. Oh my God. Kelly, I hate you so much.
We got some paper
We got
towels.
some paper towels. Yeah, we'll just right there. What?
You can already smell it through the...
No, I'm trying to figure out what I have on my hands here. Oh God. Okay.
Yeah, you can smell it through the bag.
Can you smell it through the bag? Are you ready if somebody pukes? Okay, so here's the thing.
Bathroom's right there.
The bathroom is just through a couple doors over.
Trash
There's
can right
a
there.
trash can there, yes. I'm not saying I'm going to withstand this entirely, but I think out of the two of us, I stand the best chance of being able to hold my own on this. There is a slim chance this might turn into a solo show for a little bit. We'll see how that goes.
I told my wife she's gonna have to tag in for me if I go down. So we'll see.
At least it's not soft serve ice cream. Yeah. So last thing I want to read here, what to expect on the inside of the box. What to expect. Made with Carolina Reaper pepper, scorpion pepper, and Sichuan peppercorn. This chip was created for the sheer pleasure of intense heat and pain. Round 1, a spicy punch to the tongue. Round 2, a fiery jab to the face. Round 3, impaired vision from tears. Oh, gosh. Okay, we're only going to be able to get through maybe a couple of these things.
I think we need to hit our major.
We'll hit major ones.
And then we're going to eat the chips and then try to do our minor ones after that.
And then round 4, a low blow to the gut. And round 5, KO. So, we'll see. I have to work tomorrow.
I'm going to ask the question ahead of time, just in case we can't later.
Oh, yes. So
let's thinking
do this.
We had a little bit of a conversation, and my brother brought up a good idea, and we're wondering what everybody else might think of this. these live streams are cheating.
I don't care. You got yours.
No,
you do yours.
I'm not. Okay.
Okay, you.
We do these live streams of the news articles, but what he's suggested is taking the individual sections out and making them into their own little short videos that
like
you can
a
watch.
3-4 minute video. Or something.
That you can watch after. And get more condensed information. That way, if you do feel like watching the news later, you don't have to.
Yeah.
Go
or if
through
you missed the
everything.
live stream, yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll be working on how to adopt that. But if that's interesting to you, be sure to.
I'm already sweating.
Yeah, I know. I'm already regretting this whole thing, but whatever. So real quick, I've got a couple more people that hopped in here. Looked like we had Stormer pop in and Mark Gump. If you guys missed it, we're eating just stupidity right here.
So 5 minutes is a featherweight, 10 minutes is a lightweight, 30 minutes is a middleweight, and an hour plus is a heavyweight. So
basically, if you can last an hour, then you're fine.
Yeah, probably.
All right. Well, so was there anything else we wanted to talk about before we do this?
Did we want to hit the...
I feel like we need to start this though. Otherwise we're going to keep pushing it off. Oh,
okay, let's just do it.
Let's just do it. All right, we're going to do this here. I'm going to try even Oh god, mine's broken.
Oh, it's like black.
Mm-hmm. This is going to be bad. All right.
Ready?
Hold on.
I'm gonna...
1, 2, 3. Gotta be able to get it down here. All right, so let's jump right into this. Oh god, it's already burning. That's definitely a bad idea. So, top stories. We got MSI subsidiary caught stealing, scalping their own RTX 3080s. Justin might be tapping out already. I might be tapping out. Ooh.
So 3080s on eBay. So there was a... oh man, it's getting real hot.
Mm-hmm. Still chewing. Keep talking.
I'm not a...
So as everybody knows, the 3080s disappeared real quick. And a lot of people thought, hey, I'm going to take advantage of this, turn around and sell it on eBay because I got one. And people still want one. Oh, the milk does not really help. Well, there was a subsidiary of MSI. MSI is MicroStar International. They, in order to sell in different countries, they do have to have subsidiaries in different countries. And those subsidiaries have subsidiaries. So there's like a main US one, a main Canada, Japan. Yeah, that's hurting. Well, one of these subsidiaries, who is actually supposed to be selling refurbished models, new old stock, stuff that doesn't normally make it to market at some point. Are you doing okay over there?
I'll be fine in a minute.
You sure? Oh my god, people. You know, I was thinking about throwing a challenge out there that if we ever hit 50 streamer or viewers at the same time, we would do this again. I'm never doing this again. Like, under no circumstances. Whew.
Okay, so
This is a bad idea.
Yeah, because I only don't hurt when I'm drinking.
So these guys, basically one of the subsidiaries somehow got a hold of 4 cards, you said? Mm-hmm. Like, I knew they got a hold of some. I didn't know how many. Oh, I can't open this fast enough. Here, you want a donut? Supposedly these help. Oh, God. Oh, no, not to touch my eyes. Thanks, Alan. That helps a little bit. So the subsidiary, Starlit Partner. That's what we were trying to figure out earlier. It's Star something. Starlit Partner got access to these cards. And they're only supposed to be doing like refurbished. And I wanted to do hot ones. See ya. All right, I'm going to try and stick it out here. So they got a hold of these. They turned around and sold them on eBay for inflated prices. And basically, there's been a huge outlast on this. And right here, it's a subsidiary of the PC maker, MSI, has been found scalping the company's own RTX 3080 and 3090 for $6,000 to $1,000 over normal pricing. Can we get a dog out of here, please? Kelly. Justin's not doing too good, and I'm barely holding on here. Hey, dogs, go. All right. So, sorry. I'll get on track here. And basically what happened is users started posting suspicious sales in a Reddit forum. MSI admitted, and this was posted on October 7th, that a subsidiary, the Starlit Partner, sold the graphics card on eBay. At least 4 of the RTX 3080s. You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
All right, he's back. For $13.59 and $13.99.
I thought I was going to be sick. I just had a cough.
And at least 8 to 11 RTX 3090s for as much as $2,600 for this. So that is crazy, and so normally it's $759 for just a 3080. The $1589, it's already starting to die off for me.
Yeah.
The $1589, oh, I hope this doesn't come back. For the 3090, so that one, that was $1,000 over its intended MSRP. And here's a prime example. And does it say in here? Yeah. Seller, Starlit Partner. I don't know if you guys can see that very well. Starlit Partner. Selling for $2,400. That is crazy. So, when Justin and I had a conversation about this before the stream, which we always do a little pre-gaming.
Desperate people who would pay that.
Yeah, who would pay that? Somebody that just has to have that. Shut up, Mark. And says, oh, it will come back. Rich people, yeah. People that have more money than sense, they'll pay that. And, you know, it's one of those things that MSI, and we talked about this, sorry, I got a little sidetracked. MSI has gone out of its way to say, well, not necessarily out of its way, but has said to the people that bought these that you can either get a full refund, send the card back, get your full refund back, or keep the card, and they'll give you the difference for what the MSRP is on this.
Yeah.
And so...
And that's a good start.
Yeah, that's a good start.
You know, it still kept the cards out of people who... out of the hands of people who were not willing...
Yeah, 4 of the 3080s and 8 to 11 of the 3090s. Oh, my nose is running.
I think I got some stuff coming out my nose, and that's why I had to. Whoa.
Yeah, sorry. All right, we're good. Okay, that's bad. So, and apparently, this is not the first time.
It's both worse and not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Oh yeah, that initial punch, but that we still have a couple rounds. It looks like, so we'll see. That may have only been round 1. But this isn't the first time that Starlit has gotten these cards, even though they're only supposed to be a. Oh gosh, this isn't the first time they've gotten these cards, even though they're only supposed to be selling refurbished devices or new old stock or things that just don't normally stay on the shelves. You know, like you're not going to buy a refurbished video card from Best Buy directly, like off of their shelf. Usually it's some third-party seller for that. All right, I think I'm good. I think I'm back in the game here. You got to figure your shit out over here because I can't carry this the whole time. All right, so they've been selling these cards, and what came up is people were talking about whether or not it's this is something that's happened before, and there were people that had posted on this Reddit post talking about how they had bought their 2080 Supers. We'll clean up later. Away. Yeah, that had bought their 2080 Supers from them. So clearly, this is the first time they've gotten caught marking these things up.
But they've definitely got a hold of stock.
They've gotten a hold of new stock at launch before, even though they're not supposed to. And Justin brought up a point. It's like the CEO of MSI, he's not going to know who these Starlit partners are. He's not going to really give a shit, to be honest.
Yeah, 4 cards.
Now he's probably a little irritated because, he caught wind of bad publicity. I like the fact that MSI is like putting a stop to it as far as we're going to make it right with this, but I want to see what else comes of it, though.
Right. There needs to be some additional change, and it needs to be public.
Yeah. If the 4080s come out and this happens again, that'd be a world of hurt. But we won't know until we get a little more information on that. Whew. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm
good. My lips are burning is the main thing. It's like,
see, I didn't let it touch the lips. I was smart about that. I kind of like grabbed it and threw it in there. And just, how much of your chip do you have left?
None.
You did your whole chip?
Yeah, there's a little powder.
I got like a little crumbly piece right there, but
I have a little powder. That's it.
Oh, all right. And just the left side because I kept it to one side. Oh, sorry guys. That was just a bad idea.
Yeah.
All right, we're never doing that again.
No.
Real quick, in the chat, we got John Stevens. Got my Chromecast with Google TV set up today. Took me over an hour to get it set up. Would not recognize me. Kept running me around and around. Now, what happened? What do you mean it didn't recognize you as far as like voice commands? I have one. I haven't set it up yet. You have one. How was your setup process?
So, it was the easiest Chromecast I've ever set up.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't tell John Stevens that.
I think... No, I'm not going to lick the wrapper. I think the main problem that I have run into in the past is in connecting to different networks.
Like it only works on the 2.4 gigahertz?
Yeah, these ones work on the 5 gigahertz, though.
Oh, okay, these do. Good. All right. Look a little pale. That's not the first time I've heard that. Stormer says, this will probably be the last time catching a stream for a while. I'm starting a job on Monday and will be working second shift again. Well, and that's where what Justin was suggesting, or what Justin's brother suggested in the beginning, where we could actually basically take the segments and kind of chop them up, like do a video, turn what we just talked about, if it's worth turning a video into, about the MSI subsidiary, into a 5-minute little spiel or 10-minute little...
However long
it takes. Justin, stay near the mic. Your mom's telling you. So hopefully that will help you be able to still, at least catch up on stuff because I typically every couple weeks will drop off the oldest video, and this way it's not just kind of clogging things up. But this will be a whole different kind of series almost, where you don't have to necessarily watch the whole thing. You can do a highlight reel of things you're interested in. So, but yeah, congratulations on the job, Mark Gump. Congratulations on the job. I know how it gets with work interrupting life. Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
It's definitely taking a toll on me and the channel. I haven't done videos because I just don't have the energy right now. But
yeah, things are crazy.
Yeah, need to get back into that. But
yeah,
So, moving on. Let's do
the MSI. We said the top people wouldn't necessarily know or even care.
Yes.
They care now, and I think the key point is that MSI International and even MSI, the United States branch of MSI, if either of them had anybody that knew what was going on, they would immediately have put a stop to it.
Oh yeah.
And so they're being honest when they say that they didn't know what was going on and that they did what they could to fix it. But what they've done so far isn't quite enough. They need to be.
They've fixed this issue, but there needs to be, what are they doing to prevent this from happening again?
Yeah.
You know, is somebody getting fired? Is somebody?
What are they going to do to rebuild trust in the brand?
Yeah,
because that's the big issue. Is the brand has lost trust. You know, people just aren't going to trust them as well anymore. And like a few years ago, like 4 or 5 years ago, I bought an MSI laptop. It was one of those refurbished models, and it was a gaming laptop, and it was nice, and I liked it. Can we consider ourselves champions? We immediately started drinking milk.
No, but wait. Oh, I didn't realize that was part of it, though. Okay.
There was no way I was not even going to make it to the featherweight.
I could have made it to lightweight easily if I had known that there was a. Sorry, I just realized I didn't realize there was a drinking thing. I thought that was just like, how long can you last before you hate your life? Yeah.
No.
Okay. No, not a champion, but I will say, not as bad as I thought.
Recovery has been quicker than I thought.
Yeah, I was expecting this to be.
It hit me a lot. Well, it hit me quickly and hard, but then it was also passed a lot quicker.
Oh yeah, no. That if I had known that there was a challenge of not to drink anything, I would have shot for that.
Well, it said that right there. Eat the chip. Wait as long as possible before drinking or eating. Rules for the challenge.
Oh. Well, here I am reading the inside of this box, and the back of it, like, I read 2 out of the 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
whatever.
It's fine.
I still, yeah.
I wouldn't have made it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even have made it to 5 minutes because I'm not a huge spice person.
Yeah.
I'll take spice. I will do buffalo sauce. Buffalo sauce is good. I will do.
Drink that.
Yeah, I will do sometimes the step up, you know, like Buffalo Wild Wings, I'll do like the medium, not just the mild buffalo, but the medium buffalo, and I will be fine with that. You go much above that, and I start to have problems. This is a little bit above that.
Warning, it hurts like hell.
Yeah, well, it hasn't, you know, the weird thing is as soon as I ate the chip, is like, I could feel like,
I was having a hard time just getting down because it's stale as shit.
Yeah.
Like you're like trying to jam that thing in there. So no, when you got these, I was also thinking of the Dax Shepard, Kirsten Bell, where they ate the chocolate version, and they were like for a solid like 20 minutes having problems, and I'm like, so I was expecting this to be the same thing, not so much.
Yeah.
And they were drinking stuff left and right. So
yeah.
But yeah, let's move on to the next topic. Yeah,
I'm gonna dislike this video because it hurt. No,
right. The next topic, AMD, and this is what I'm really excited about. AMD used to be like the go-to, like champion of CPUs. Years and years and years and years and years ago.
Pre-Pentium, AMD was good.
And then
Pentium came out, and AMD was okay. And then Core 2 Duo series came up, and then AMD has not really been on top since the Pentium series came out.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. 2000.
They've not had a chip
early 2000s
on top.
Somewhere in
now AMD for a long time has been good price to performance ratio.
Yeah.
They've been amazing at that at times, but pure raw power, they've not been on top in a long time.
So, but they've come out recent years. We've talked about this before. The Zen architecture with the Ryzen series. So right now they're on Ryzen 3000/4000 for the mobile. I don't know why they did that.
Yeah.
But essentially the 3000 and 4000 is their third generation. Even though, like first generation was 1000, second generation 2000, third generation.
And then the naming gets even more confusing because first generation was Zen architecture. Second generation was Zen Plus.
Zen Plus.
Third was Zen 2.
And then, but this time they are making a bigger leap into their Zen 3 architecture.
They're not doing a Zen 2 Plus.
No. So, what we're seeing here in early test, and this is a Cinebench test specifically that we're looking at here, just to kind of give you guys an idea. Justin has a 9900K. I have a 3700K. I'm a little below what he's capable of doing. As far as doing stuff like Cinebench,
and
they're pretty
on par. They're not.
Yeah.
It's not a huge difference. No. And to be fair, your chip was also $150 less than mine.
Yes. So price to performance, I've got him beat.
Yeah,
but if you're looking at just a true performance aspect, he's got me beat. I may have him beat, depending on
it really depends
program.
on the workload.
Yeah, the workload. But the Ryzen 9 5950X, that is going to be the new flagship processor from AMD. And this is going to boast a 1632 or 1224? 1632.
1632.
And it is just eating away at the 10900K. And we're just going to skip down to the goodness right here. So the 10900K, which would be a generational leap from your 9900K.
Yeah, it's
generation difference.
Mainly, actually, it's got a 0.3 boost clock better.
Yeah,
and 2 more cores.
So because you have an 816, I have an 816. Now, the biggest thing that Intel, especially, has always had lately is the individual single core performance. Like the single core has, always gotten you better scores. Well, if you look at this, AMD Ryzen 5950X, 641 to 539.
Yeah, so even though the clock rate is
lower,
0.4 gigahertz less.
0.3 on the base, 0.4 on the boost.
Yeah, even though it's lower base clock, there is more that goes into how good a processor is than the actual clock speed itself. So it's able to do more with every clock, with every tick of the clock, and that gets them that higher score. So that's impressive.
That right there, yeah, because yes, it does have 16 cores, 32 threads versus 10 and 20 for the 9900 or 10900. Which would account for why you're seeing a higher multi-core, but not this much of a higher multi-core.
Well, and another thing that Intel gets their boost numbers that high for, or from, is that they will boost like a single core to that, and if all the cores are being used, it won't go. It's going to not even try to go that high. AMD, I think, does the same thing, but I think that they're able to hit higher clocks more consistently. And it's got 6 more threads.
Yeah, and that's where the multi-core, that's where I'm saying the multi-core, that's where you're really seeing the bigger jump there. But seeing that single core, I think that's kind of been, to me, that's the biggest, like, stake in the ground right there. Like... We have a lower clock speed, and we got better performance in a single core.
Yeah, they've definitely at this point, to be completely honest, Intel has not changed much in the past 3 generations,
and that's been a kind of a complaint. Where
we've got an 8700K in here.
Yep,
and then I've got a 9900K, and in all reality, it's not that much
not a huge difference, and that's a generation and some better.
Yeah, it's a generation and chip level, and then this is another generation, And like if we look at the performance difference between a 10900K.
While you look that up, I'm just going to address. Alan says he never cared for AMD. Stormer says he's always been an Intel guy. He owns AMD stock, same as how he's Microsoft Android, but he invests in Apple. And I understand. Having primarily always been a kind of budget gamer or a budget oriented person, I've always kind of leaned towards AMD because, yes, I may not get the best, but I get for bang for my buck. It's kind of hard to beat. But now the competition is really stacking up for Intel, where AMD is competing head to head with them. So like that to me is what I'm excited about, is seeing AMD actually do something where Intel should be scared. And Alan does say, isn't that because of the architecture? Yes, that is because of the architecture.
And AMD has made a huge difference in their architecture.
Yep.
So the 10900K versus 8700K, actually the 8700K was the top tier available in the 8000 series.
Mm-hmm.
So they're both top tier competitive. This is 2 generations better, top tier chip versus top tier chip, on average 10% faster performance. Depending on what you're doing, if you're doing multi-threaded, you get 40% faster. It's showing like 18%, 10%.
Yeah, depending on what
you're doing overall.
10% for
10% overall.
Yeah.
18% on these tests, 9% on that.
Yeah.
Only there's 42 there. So
and I mean,
that's 2 generations. And if we look at 2 generations, we'll look at
that's 2 generations, and you're going from a 700 to a 900.
It's top of the line versus top of the line, though.
Yeah.
If we look at 10,
I see what you're saying. It's the best you could have bought back then
versus the best you could have bought now.
Yeah.
If you look at same for same, it drops it a little bit, 7 instead of 10.
Yeah.
It's not that big of a difference.
That's incremental improvement.
I'm giving Intel the best chance, best to best, 10% to 20%. You know.
Yeah.
Then we look at AMD's, and we look at what is 1800X. Do they have 1800X was the highest you could do then, and let's look at their 3950X. So this is also a 2-generation leap.
Throw laptop back on there.
Best for best.
3950. Yeah, that's the best.
Best for best. It's a big price difference, though.
Yeah.
Maybe we don't want to do 30. Let's do 3900X.
Yeah, because the 3950 came out a little bit later than the 3900. Still a significant price difference.
$200. So
but that was also
a couple
at the time. But the 1800X also, think about it this way, is that was them getting back into the game, because it had been a couple years since they had launched anything new, so they had to offer up something real sweet on that.
Yeah, and they're at 15%, 22%, 20%.
You're seeing a lot more gains.
There's more gains here.
But you also look at that 3900X was the cost of that $430 versus the 9900K or 10900K is $500. I think, didn't you pay like $550 for yours?
$450.
$450. Okay. But the MSRP on those was more.
Yeah, it's still $200 difference, but it's to $630 from $400.
I'm trying to find in here, so, kind of touching on Alan's architecture thing, what they did, and I wish I had a way to draw on the screen for you, because I can't find the actual diagram that they used. Basically, what they were doing is, rather than having a single processor, it was 2 chiplet processors. You remember seeing that?
Yeah.
And so what it would be is you have your cache. A processor typically has 32 megs of cache. Well, by doing the chiplets, they broke that cache up into 2 16 meg caches, and then they had 4 cores accessing. Is that the one?
Yeah, there's the Zen 2 versus Zen 3.
Yes. Okay, perfect. Let's throw this over here. Thank you.
So yeah, the one on top here. I'm pointing at my screen. You're not going to see that.
Yeah.
The one on top here is the previous generation, and so they have these 8 cores, right? And you can see these L1, L2 cache.
L1, Z2.
Z2, yeah, L2, Z2 cache.
Yep.
And there's the L3 cache. Each of the cores had, they shared here.
Basically, if you look at that split right down the middle of that L3 cache, that meant that 4 of those cores could only access 16 megs of cache. Which the more cache you have, the faster something can run, or the better, not necessarily the faster, the better it can run. Now, with the Zen 3 architecture, they've basically brought those L3 caches together again, just like they should have been in the first place. But
and that's the way Intel was doing it, and why Intel was maybe still getting a little bit of edge, even though Intel's designs are still really old.
Yeah.
They're still on the 14 nanometer process.
Yeah.
They're calling it 10, but it's still 14.
Yeah. So now all 8 of the cores have access to the full 32 megs of L3 cache, which that's as far as my knowledge goes right there. But they basically, it's think of the L3 cache to a certain extent as RAM is for your whole system.
Right. It's basically
if you only have 4 gigs of RAM, your shit's gonna run slow. If you have 6 or 8 gigs of RAM, that's gonna be better. 16, 30. The more you have access to, the better.
Right.
So,
yeah, it's definitely getting a little deep for me too. I don't do architecture design at all. I never did any of that.
That's well above.
I know that having it split had some advantages, but not nearly as many as it had disadvantages. And so recombining it was a big deal. So and that's what's really shot them up. And I think the thing that we need to see now is what they're actually going to sell for. I think that's going to make or break how important this move is for them. If they price it too high, that's where I think we're going to have issues. If they stick with roughly the same pricing model that they've been doing, I think they're going to do great, and we're going to see AMD really take charge more. Now, I guess I have a question for Alan and Stormer. Why not AMD? And I'm kind of an AMD fanboy, but at the same time, I still respect Intel. I know that for the longest time it's been a better chip overall. I go back and forth. I wouldn't consider myself a fanboy, but it really depends on the situation you're in and what's available at the time. What is the better deal?
Yeah.
But what I've heard, the explanation for going with Intel, even when AMD is on top, is that Intel tends to have less compatibility issues because so many people use Intel chips over AMD. Everybody writes. Actually, interesting thing that I just saw today, and it's kind of sidetrack off topic, but there's a Ps3 emulator. Okay? A PS3 emulator.
I think I saw the article. I didn't read it though.
Yeah. So there's a PS3. It was talking about why isn't the PS5 going to have PS3 compatibility?
Yep.
And one of them is that there's this PS3 emulator, and it's really hard to emulate a PS3 because of its chiplet design.
Yep.
It's not chiplets. It's got a different name, and I just can't think of it right now.
It's architecture.
But yeah, a part of its architecture. It has extra cores that are specific and need to be used in a specific way. Each of those cores has its own memory section that is locked to it.
Oh.
Intel has additional feature sets on it that allows that emulator to lock memory just like it and like that and take advantage of that and perform much better. Okay. There are workarounds that makes it actually work on AMD chips still, but they run slower clock for clock.
Gotcha.
Because it has to do more.
And then, kind of talking about that, at one point we had kind of played around with a Hackintosh, and AMD is harder to build a Hackintosh off of than Intel
because everything was written for Intel.
Everything was written, yeah, exactly.
And,
So
even though they're both
sense.
even though they're both x86 and they support the full x86 code strings, Intel supports their additional stuff. AMD supports their additional stuff that's on top of that.
Yeah.
And people tend to write for Intel.
x86 is the Pixel of Android. Intel would be the Samsung of Android.
Kind
I mean, to a certain extent, you know, I'm trying to simplify things down for anybody not following. And then AMD would be the Huawei of Android. Used to be the Huawei of Android.
Maybe.
Huawei.
It's basically the x86 code set is you get to do these things, and then it's like a Venn diagram.
Yep.
Where Intel covers the entire x86 but has their own section.
Yep.
And AMD covers the entire x86 and has their own. And even between each other, they share
a lot of stuff. Yeah.
That is more, but each of them support the full x86 code structure.
Yeah.
But they also have their own additional things, which honestly, a lot of times you can't even take advantage of if you're not low level coding.
Yeah.
If you're using C#, you're not going to notice the difference between AMD and Intel. I don't think you can get to those commands in C#. C++ maybe.
Alan says, from the start out, I always went Intel. This is in 1992 when I started in computers. And that's, you know, it's one of those things really, it's case by case scenario.
Yeah.
You know, do you need a 10900K with 10 cores, 20 threads if all you're doing is playing Minecraft? You can go buy a really cheap AMD one and go with that. It's Ford versus Chevy.
It is.
You know, and you guys can make the arguments for Ford's better, Chevy's better, whatever. Every year had a different issue with one company versus the other, you know, like I remember in the 90s, the Ford Tauruses were like notorious for their transmissions just dumping out. I mean, like just crapping out on them. But you know, then I don't know. I'm trying to think of other ones, but
yeah, there's it always goes back and forth and even with as fast as computers move. They've not gone back and forth as much as other things do. So Stormer's asking,
I was going to say,
what is x86? I've wondered since Windows 8 when I noticed a separate programs file folder called x86. So x86 is kind of confusing. So x86 literally means the code set that was written for the blank 86 processor. So way back in the day, one of the first like major mainstream standardized processor was the 8086.
Okay.
And that 8086 supported certain commands. They called that the x86 commands architecture. And since then, we've been building off of that command structure, adding to it, making it better, adding more commands available, and building onto it. So x86 is really a command structure. It's what you're using on your desktop computer, whereas ARM is what you're using on your phone. They're both processors. They both accomplish the same thing, but your phone has a different set of commands that the processor is allowed to do, which is why you can't run Doom on your phone. Well, I'm sure you can.
I was about to say, don't say you can't do it.
You can't run the same one. Well, you can put DOSBox on your phone.
Somebody has run Doom on an iPod Classic, so don't tell me you can't run Doom on your phone.
But programs that were written for
instruction sets.
Yeah. That's what it is.
Yeah, the Alan, nice.
8086 was first, and then 386, 46. I think the first computer that I had and proceeded to break very quickly, which upset my parents. Hi, Mom. Was I think a 486.
Okay.
It was my dad's old computer, and I like put the processor in upside down, broke it. It was bad times. But so that's the 86 instruction set. It's everything that's been built off of that. Then there's also a bit rate or a bit width. So the AMD86 was an 8-bit computer.
Okay.
Or it might have been 16-bit. I don't remember. I didn't ever use them. But the 386 and 46 were 32-bit computers, which means that every time you send an instruction through the processor, you're sending 32 bits through the processor at a time. What you're seeing with the x86 folder is 32-bit kind of just got called x86 for a long time because it was 32-bit for a very long time. When they went to 64-bit, they started calling it x64, which is really confusing because it's not a new instruction set. It's just a 64-bit width, so it's doing 64 bits at once, version of x86. But to maintain backwards compatibility, it still can run all those 32-bit programs, and therefore to keep them separate so it knows whether to be running it in 32-bit mode or 64-bit mode, it puts the 32-bit ones in an x86 folder, even though it should really be x32 because everything is x86.
So quick recap, simplify it for people.
Yeah,
32-bit is what x86 means because that's what everything was based off of in the 32-bit era. Or
it's what it should, what it realistically means. It's not what it
I know
actually means.
For
the
layman,
means.
For the layman, it's x86 is for everything that was run off of 32-bit programming, which a lot of things still do 32-bit programming. Like you'll see install options for 32-bit and 64-bit. Your program files that just says nothing after it. That's where everything 64-bit should be getting installed.
Or people who don't know to put things into the 32-bit folder, put things. Because the person installing it can hard code where it's going.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
So,
Stormer says, okay, makes sense now with the 64-bit system. Never knew that basically it just means 32-bit.
Yeah,
it is the
your
platform
computer
in which 32-bit was built off of.
Right? And 64-bit. And that's the confusing part is in your computer, anytime you see x86, it really just means 32-bit.
Yeah.
Even though everything is x86 in your computer. Because 64-bit is still using the x86 instruction set. It's just using an expanded, bigger version.
Yeah. Sorry, I just remembered something that I meant to pull up.
It's kind of like anytime. So we're talking cars, right?
Yes.
It's like when you have the new model Ford Taurus come out, and so all of a sudden you decide to call all previous Ford Taurus the Ford car. Doesn't have Taurus on it anymore.
Yeah.
It's the Ford car.
Yeah, true.
Well, you're calling it by the generic name now, which is confusing everybody because the new Taurus is a car. Yeah, it's just confusing. And there were 64-bit systems before Windows 64 came out, and 64-bit x86 chips came out. Nintendo 64.
Yeah, that was technically a 64.
Technically a 64.
It wasn't primarily used by coders and whatever for a mainstream computer until they came out with 64.
It's a chicken and an egg situation.
Yeah. And it also unlocked the ability to go above 16 gigs of RAM. Weren't you limited on a 32-bit process or 32-bit?
32-bit
to have a certain amount of RAM.
Yes, so a 32-bit processor can only count to 4. No, it's 4 gigs.
4 gigs?
4 gigs. 16-bit was like 32K.
Wow.
An 8-bit. So a 32-bit computer can count to 4 billion because it's binary and there's 32 bits. And so 4 billion is 4 in bits is 4 gigabytes. And so a 32-bit computer can only see 4 gigabytes of memory. That's 4 gigabytes of addressed memory, which also means that if you have a video card, it's got memory. That has to be addressed.
Oh, okay.
That's why most of the time, computers that were 32-bit you ended up seeing around 3.5 gigs, even when you had 4 gigs installed, because there's so many other system things with memory, because your video card memory got chunked out of that 4 gigs. Every network card you have has a little bit of memory on it. That comes out of the 4 gigs that's available. With 64-bit, it's like a trillion gigs. It's crazy. You're not going to run out of it anytime soon.
Yeah.
People are alive today that used 8-bit computers without a problem, and have seen the need to go from 8 to 16 and 16 to 32 and 32 to 64. We are not going to see the need to go from 64 to 128. That's the next logical step. Because
there's the restrictions. We don't have the technology to make the technology to maximize the restrictions of a 64-bit processor.
Right.
Yeah. No, that's I mean, it's a good thing. We're in a good time where we don't. I mean,
we've maxed out one thing for now.
Yeah,
everything else can get
we've
faster.
maxed out the horse, not the cart.
Yeah.
So horse and buggy type situation. Your horse as a 32-bit can only pull 4 tons, but now we have a stallion over here.
Okay, I see.
You see where that analogy is kind of going.
My
there?
brain went the other way. It's like, well, 64 bits is how much stuff you can do at once, and so that would be your cart, is you can hold 64 bits, and you keep getting a faster and faster horse.
Towing power. There, let's just go towing power. Yeah.
Yeah, I see where you're going.
We've got a 2020, Chevy 3500, and we only have like a lawnmower trailer right now.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a Commodore 64. You have a Commodore 128 in its box? Like, I'm guessing you mean you still had its box, and when you were done using it, you put it away. Not that it's still sealed.
If it's new in box, then
that's a find.
Worth some money.
That's a find.
So
and there are plenty of people who would love to take it off your hands for
a
couple grand.
Another thing that came up. Oh no, you had something. Let's go to what you had.
This one.
That one, yeah. So, what was it? 2 months ago? No, earlier this month.
It was a couple weeks ago.
Google announced the Pixel 5.
Yep.
What was it? $600 phone?
Yeah.
556.
500, 600, somewhere on there.
Pixel 5.
And I actually didn't see how much this one is yet.
Price. We're looking at. Oh, my stomach. $699. Announces the Pixel for $699. So $700 phone. That wasn't as exciting, but as we had hoped, it wasn't really a flagship enough phone. It wasn't a cheap enough phone to like really, go one way or another. But Justin actually found that Samsung has an alternative option for around the same price range.
Yep.
That's going to be the same specs, too. So
the S20 FE, which stands for Fan Edition.
Fan Edition.
So it has a bunch of options, and it's ships by October 16th. So I mean, that's tomorrow. You can trade in if you wanted to get some discounts, but let's go back to the specs. I want to go back to the specs to get the price. I had to go to the different. Okay.
Oh, gotcha.
So it has a 4,500 milliamp hour battery.
Yep.
It has 128 gigs of internal storage.
Okay, so we're looking at the left column.
Yeah, the left column it's comparing.
Gotcha.
8-core processor. It's got the 3 different steps of speed. So it's still stepped down, but I think that's the same as the 5. 6 gigs of RAM, which I think is the same. It has 5G. It has just the 2 cameras. Doesn't have the wide. It's got one front, one rear.
Back to the processor real quick. I just want to...
2.8. 2.4, 1.8.
Body display platform. So we have an octa-core 1.2 or 1 2.4, 1 2.2, and 6 1.8.
So this is 2.8, 2.4, and 1.8. So I'm guessing it's 1.16.
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that. So it's actually slightly better, but not by much.
Pretty much
honestly,
the same
most
thing.
people aren't going to notice.
Yeah. 6 gigs of RAM, 8 gigs.
So
Slight increase there, but really,
it has 5G.
5G. This has 5G somewhere in here.
It has a 12 megapixel front, rear
12
this
megapixel
must be
rear facing, so that's to you, right? Front facing is away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know why they rear front. It just doesn't make sense. Anyways,
No, see, this one says it's a rear 108 megapixel. I think they got these backwards.
yeah, because if you have a 32 megapixel selfie cam,
Yeah, it's a 12 megapixel selfie cam
what are
and a
you
32
doing
megapixel
with that
regular
camera?
cam.
And so
6.5 inch
6.5 inch. Oh, is this one 6 inches? 6-inch display.
FHD plus,
Full
which
HD.
I think is the 1080 plus. Just go down to the graph. Where's the graph?
Where's the graph, guys? We like spec sheets here. So yeah, I mean that's a pretty comparable.
FHD, there's HD 1080. Oh, it doesn't even have it on here.
Way to go. It's a pretty comparable phone. So I mean, there are options out there, and I like to give Samsung crap because of how much they charge for their phones and kind of their pricing systems. But at least they're offering something to compete at that same level, which I think is nice. Real quick in the chat, Bill Wilson, I saw my TRS 80 Model 3 hacked to 16K of memory. Stormer, he bought an LG G8 back in March. It was like $350 more than I bought it for some reason.
His LG G8 he bought back in March is $350 more than what he bought for now. So it's increased in value.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, Maybe there was some kind of deal going on when you got yours, and you maybe didn't know about it.
And I feel like I may have missed something with Bill Wilson. They delivered my tablet in less than 24 hours. Did you order a tablet that I missed in there?
I think.
Is there a TRS 80 Model 3 tablet? But yeah, I'm kind of curious. What kind of tablet did you get there? Because there's some good options out there.
Is it the Amazon Prime deal?
The Prime deal, yeah.
Because Amazon had a few pretty good Prime deals.
Yeah, their Prime Day things.
My parents bought something.
They got the Echo Auto.
Echo Auto. My parents got an Echo Auto, and they bought it, and they had it in less than 24 hours as well.
Yes. I actually picked up an extra Echo Dot. That it was like $18 for the third generation. I didn't get the balls. I don't have the balls to get the balls. But I picked up the Echo Dot, and that actually arrived within a day. So yeah,
Amazon has shipping down.
Yeah, they really do. Especially when they have those Prime deals. I've noticed a lot more things in our area getting one-day delivery options.
Well, there is a warehouse up in the cities.
Yeah, but I'm saying
more in it. Yeah.
They've definitely increased that. Bill Wilson got the Fire 8. That's an awesome tablet. Craig has one of those. I'm pretty sure he has the 8.
I have the Fire. My wife had a Fire 7.
Yeah.
And I've got a Fire HD 10.
Okay.
And as far as tablets go, it's hard to beat the Amazon tablets for
streaming and for playing games and stuff like that. If you're doing content creation stuff,
right, you're not gonna create content on it, but it's also like $100.
Yeah.
Price for what you're getting, cost effectiveness, for what you are getting.
Oh yeah, no, they're hard to beat.
Hands down,
I had one of the Fire HD whatevers like when they first came out, and I was like, this is a solid tablet for what I was doing at the time, So
right.
But yeah, so yeah, no, that's awesome. Amazon Prime Day deals. There's a lot of good ones. I'm just not don't know. Craig was doing streams on them and stuff, and I'm like,
Oh, you're on Top Chat, not Live Chat. I wonder if that filtered something out.
Did I miss something? Son of a...
Maybe not.
No, I feel like Top Chat. We don't get enough people to not be a Top Chat. Let's see. I think it's a good little reader tablet. Yes, definitely is. Stormer says, my Echo Auto has been dumb lately. Keeps playing the same songs every day, starts with the same one, and plays in the same order, even though I asked to shuffle my music.
I've actually had that happen on Android, on YouTube Music.
I haven't had that happen yet, I should say.
But what I discovered, I think I discovered what was happening for me in YouTube Music. So it's a different app, but there was a setting in my phone for in Android or in YouTube Music to do a endless playlist, and that was turned off. And when that's turned off,
it just has a certain
has your playlist.
Yep.
That it's generated for you. And if you don't do endless, it doesn't add anything new, and it doesn't change it up. And
it's just a playlist. It's not like Pandora where it will find something to add. Yeah.
Yeah. And so maybe that's the same thing. Maybe. I mean, I had something similar. So, and I'm pretty sure I turned the endless playlist back on, and then that fixed it. I just had to close it out, and open it back up, and everything.
Bill Wilson has a distribution center 12 miles from his house. If you're not getting 1-day shipping on stuff, there's problems.
Yeah, they get out 1 hour shipping up
when you're that. Oh, do they really?
Yeah, there's certain things.
You have to pay extra for those, right?
Certain things. I think it depends.
Okay, on what? Probably depending on how much you spend.
Yeah.
If you spend enough,
my brother up in the cities has bought thing from it. I think it's 1 or 2 hour delivery or something like that. It's crazy.
And Alan says his echoes have been weird lately. I guess I don't use my echoes enough to know if they're getting weird.
Echoes are always weird.
Oh yeah. No, but I don't use them enough to go, oh, this isn't normal for them. So what problems are you having? I'm kind of curious. And is it Amazon nerfing their stuff so that you have to buy their new balls?
I don't think Amazon would do that. That's an Apple thing.
And even Apple's learned their lesson on that.
No. They still update old phones and artificially hamstring them.
Yeah.
So.
My Echo Show 5 is getting old, having trouble hearing me. Or you just need to talk louder, just yell.
I actually, that reminds me that actually I'm having similar issues with my Google devices where sometimes I'll have to yell at it before it'll trigger, and sometimes you'll say something that doesn't sound anything like the trigger words, and over Discord, and it'll trigger my Googles.
Yeah,
it happened 4 times the other day, and so it's real weird.
I've noticed that with my Google stuff, but typically it's first thing in the morning, where I just don't think it's hearing the enunciation of Google. Because I'm coughing up, waking up.
But then you say something that doesn't even sound like it, and it'll trigger it anyway.
Yeah, that's always been the case, though.
I'm thinking that what's happening is Google is starting to not have as much data on because everybody is not sharing their data anymore.
So now it's forcing.
And so it's getting worse.
Yeah, right. Have you seen any of the reviews so far in the new Google Audio?
Google Audio? No. Are they good?
Oh, they're looking good. I'm thinking about getting a pair of them
to use as TV speakers.
Yeah, well, for a video for TV speakers.
I need to get
because if you have a TV, you get a Chromecast, plop down basically $250.
That's probably true, Mom.
That is true. I do have a nice soothing voice. I play question of the day every night, trivia game. Nice. My Echo Auto is just one day a few weeks ago. Got stuck on its own playlist from my music. Other Echoes have been normal though. Okay. So he's only having problems with his Echo Auto for one day, but
yeah, I don't know. The best thing you can do if it's doing that is restart it, because if you restart it, it should have to start fresh, and at that point, it won't have any memory of what it was trying to do before.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, I have seen the new. I haven't seen any reviews on the new Echo, or I haven't watched. I know there's some out there. I haven't watched any of the new Echo ones, but I did watch I've watched a couple of the Google ones, and holy buckets. I mean, it's always hard to hear through the microphone how the speaker sounds, but you can kind of typically gauge like bass quality and clarity and stuff. And I think they really stepped up their game with this one.
The speakers are the same size as the Echo ones now.
Yep.
And so in theory,
because it's
they could also be doing something with software to make it even better. And
Google
is really good with their software.
For software. Yeah. So if anybody's gonna figure out a lead you can get in software, it would be them. So. But I think we're going to wrap it up here. This is kind of a struggle bus one with starting off with that shit.
Oh, geez. That was a bad idea. I mean, I have a little bit of gut rot already.
So, I've already feeling it too. Justin had originally made the comment of doing this like towards the end of it. And I'm like, no, it'd be better if we did it at the beginning. Because I was basically thinking it's like Hot Ones, where it's just going to be...
a slow build.
Not necessarily slow build, but it's something that's going to linger. But I feel like it was just like 10 minutes of us going, oh God, and then you running out the door.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna hurl, but
so I like that initial. I will say this, Pocky, figure out a way to make your chips not so stale, because I was chewing on that shit for way too long, and that was my problem of getting it down at first. I was like, Come on. I gotta suck this down. And that I started like gag on it a little bit just because it was like trying to swallow big chunks just to get it down so I could start talking.
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised I was able to even get the whole chip down.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I wasn't. I knew I'd get the whole chip down for you.
For me.
Yeah.
Like I gave me 50-50 odds of not being able to make it through the chip and spitting it out. But honestly, once it's in your mouth, the damage is done. Just deal with it.
Yeah. See, and like I said, you bypass the lips. You just kind of...
And I think I just got a little bit right here.
See, I have no burn on the lips. That's why I still think we need to do a Hot Ones. Maybe not. Maybe we'll just do like... Maybe we'll do...
one wing
3 through
a
8.
week.
3 through 8. We'll do 3 through 8. So we won't start off 1 and 2, or 4 through 8. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we won't do the top 2. We'll just do sauces 4 through 8. So it's 5 wins.
The bomb, which is honestly the worst. Everybody says that
exactly.
If you get the bomb, you're gonna get the other 2.
Yeah, so we'll just stop at the bomb because at that point we're gonna be wrapping it up.
I'm gonna be dead.
Yes. So, but thank you guys all for stopping by. Lydia, Bill Wilson, Stormer, Mark Gump, Alan. Who else did I miss in here? Jose, thank you for stopping by. I think we saw John Stevens there. What?
Yep. Oh no, Mark Gump. Enjoyed it, guys. Hope your weekend is more fun than the Pocky Challenge. It's like, yeah. The first minute after that chip was in there, I'm pretty sure I was just staring straight ahead.
I would try it again. I would try it again, and not on here. Not on here.
Not on video.
I would do it as a video, not on a live stream.
We should, if you're gonna do it again, while we're gaming.
Oh, but see, I would actually follow the challenge of trying not to drink anything.
But gaming is distraction; it'll help.
Yes, exactly.
It's good. We'll do it.
It requires a little less focus. Oh,
what's a death nut challenge? Oh no, I look this up.
Now we got to look it up. Whatchamacallit? Among Us. We do it during Among Us. Get everybody that's gonna play that night to get one of these chips. No, not everybody would. It would just be me at least.
Carl, where were you when this...
I don't know.
I can't even see my TV.
My mouth is burning. I'm just running around in circles. I don't know if I'm the killer or not. Just vote me off so I can go away.
Well, you still got to finish your task.
Right? Yeah. Well, that's true. Yeah.
Death Nut Challenge version 2.0. Oh, my God.
It has a flaming skull.
Carolina Reaper peanuts. New and improved with better flavor, crunch, pepper blends, including ghost pepper, Morgan Scorpion, is that the same?
No.
Carolina Reaper.
Yeah, no, you have to look on the back or inside for the actual.
It says right in the front too.
No, but there's more than just that one pepper.
Oh.
Don't argue with me.
Scorpion pepper, Carolina Reaper,
Because
Scorpion
I
pepper.
read them off. Here we go. Yeah.
Chipotle
And
pepper,
Sichuan.
Sichuan.
Yeah.
It says Carolina Reaper and Scorpion are the main ones.
Oh god, the box smells like asshole.
Those are Carolina Reaper and
All right.
Scorpion. So,
Hope
Ghost
those chips
Pepper
don't
and
mess you
Scorpion,
up in the morning.
Carolina Reaper. Yeah, these are gonna.
No, I think those ones. I don't know. I'm all about the hot stuff, but I want like lingering hot. I want that hot to last the whole stream.
And I'm okay
Like
with
no matter how much milk I drink, I'm kind of let down by it. It was hot. Don't get me wrong.
Little Nitro, world's hottest gummy bear.
Ooh. Anyways, let's wrap it up here. Quick heads up: I will not be streaming next Thursday. I have to work. Unfortunately, I have a real job, so can't avoid that. But Justin is going to be doing some game streaming.
Yeah,
we might talk about a little bit of tech. So if you still need a little bit of fix, like 50% of the Techatorium, 49% because that's all I'll give them in stock.
One time, I during a game stream while I was playing a game, I troubleshooted and fixed Keokima's computer. So
there you go.
I mean, if you're having tech problems, tech questions, stop by my stream, and I'll troubleshoot while playing games.
And throw in Discord what game you want him to be playing next Thursday.
I also soon am going to be starting a playthrough of Baldur's Gate 3.
Ooh, is that out yet?
It's in early access. So if you
Okay.
buy it, you can play it now. My brother is going to play it too, but he's waiting. Yeah, he's going to wait till it leaves early access to give it a real go.
Yeah.
And I don't know yet if I'm going to start that
When that's going to start.
soonish, but it's coming.
So, but want to thank everybody for stopping by. Really appreciate the support.
Yep.
I will see you all in 2 weeks. Hopefully he'll see you next week.
And I've been streaming randomly on Twitch, so if you stop by randomly or follow me on Twitch to get notified.
Yeah.
Big John stops by every once in a while.
Gives you the game on.
Game on.
Yeah.
So
All right. Well, thank you guys. Have a wonderful night, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye.
bye.